Angry Birds. So we are going to today conclude coverage of Steel Division 2 League Group 4. We have the top two players from that group, Arvolder versus Evilnick8. We've already seen one of their games, and I'm going to link it hopefully either in the cards, in the top right, or in the description, or possibly both. We'll see what I manage to do. But we have already seen one of their games, and if you haven't seen it, check it out. I'm not going to spoil the result. I'm not going to mention the result now, just in case you haven't seen it or anybody hasn't seen it, just so I don't spoil it. But yeah, check that one out. We have the return leg of that game. This time it's Arvolder playing the 44th Guards on Vanguard Income versus Evilnick8 playing the 25th Panzer Grenadier division on Balanced Income. So the idea is that we're going to now be finishing off the coverage from the Steel Division 2 League. The tournament has finished, so we're going to be looking at the top players in each group, and then after this game, concluding Group 4, we'll have a look at the group table, and you can see how everybody finished in the division. Please, if the competition has finished, so if you do know results, please no spoilers for anybody that doesn't know the results, and we'll get to the higher groups in the coming week, and I think we've probably got about 2 weeks left. So let's have a look. Arvolder with the 44th Guards. I'm sure you've had a quick look at the division while I've been discussing what's happening. Plenty of infantry, mostly 1-star infantry, and we do have a combat and Guardia Comroti, so potentially going to be up vetting those infantry units. What else do we have? We have lots of T-34-85s, or actually no, we don't have lots of T-34-85s. With them up vetted to 2 stars, we've only got, well, two in A phase and 4 in B phase, but we do have lots of them in C phase, 12 of them in C phase. This 44th Guards, we've not seen that often. I don't even think I mean, potentially this is the first cast of the 44th Guards. I can see a lot of units for both players down, so I'm going to try and speed this up. We've got the Xenort flat guns in there for the anti-air. Not too much artillery, but these IL-2Ms with the anti-tank rockets. They'll be looking to take care of the stugs that the 25th Panzergrens can put out. This is going to be an interesting matchup. I am very interested to see what the results will be. Okay, so we have some light recon vehicles, but some Alfkla in there as well. Infantry wise, I think 44th Guards, because it has the slightly up vetted infantry, in terms of numbers, I mean, they will still win out, I think. But it's going to be interesting to see how that one goes. I think the 44th potentially may win the infantry game, and only stuck 3 Gs. They may also win the tank game with those T-34-85s, especially double vetted. But in terms of numbers, the Panzergrens, the 25th Panzergren division will definitely be able to field a lot of stugs. 10 in B, 15 in C, 34 stugs in total. And potentially that could become a bit of a handful for Arvolder on the 44th Guards. Quite a few pack guns. The Pack 43 88mm was probably a little bit overkill for this matchup. Lots of artillery as well, including Nebelwerfer 42s. Be interesting to see how they go, because I think pretty much everyone has panned the normal Nebelwerfers. I just think they're called Nebelwerfer. than the original Nebelwerfers, the originals. But the Nebelwerfer 42, potentially a bit more impact, larger rockets, but less of them. But I think rocket artillery on the whole is pretty poor at the moment. I'd like to see a return to previous levels of our rocket artillery, although I know not everybody shares that opinion. So the game is underway. Let's just recap. On the left hand side in red we have Arvolder playing the 44th Guards, potentially looking to go strong up north, and on the right hand side in blue we have Evilnick8 playing the 25th Panzergrenadiers on balanced income. So apart from that central town, fairly defensive start. Income matchup, obviously Arvolder has the advantage early on. But with the low numbers of T-34-85s, potentially he's just got the numbers in there that he needs. This could be a pretty optimized deck. We have 1 at 2 stars in this southern side, but it looks like the engagement in this central town is where the action's going to kick off. A Pack 38 going in there. Strange to see them going into the central town. Usually you see them head up to one of these two ridges, but actually in the center ground it might not necessarily be a bad play, because you can move in and out of line of sights depending on the buildings. But Arvolder does take up positions higher up on the ridge and pushing forwards with Ognamachiki in this northern side. I think the little pocket of troops there will potentially just hold those Ognamachiki off. We have a leader into that central town, and actually I think Arvolder, yeah, rightly so, bringing in reinforcements, because Evilnick's very strong in this town. Although actually, well, Stoss troops should win out, I believe, against the Ognamachiki. Yeah, now the Panzergrenadiers with the Panzerfaust come in, he has a more strength to push that through, so I think the reinforcements a good call from Arvolder. The OB-25 just manages to take out one of the recon vehicles, and the T-34-85 2-star tackling the half-track, and the Panzergrenadiers are going to... Oh no, sorry, there is 9 of them left. I thought they were down to 1 man then. They're gonna hopefully survive if they get fallen. If they do fall back in this centre town. It looks like Evilnick has pushed forwards. Ognamachiki using smoke, and Stoss actually pushing around the buildings. Very interesting call. Outside of the 100-meter range, this is a very strategic, very tactical decision, and I like it. I really like that decision. Outside the 100-meter range, those Ognamachiki can't engage, although the Stoss troop I think have lost line of sight of them. These Stoss troops should encounter the PTRS and the Ognamachiki, yeah, and they're both going to go down, I feel. This PTRS might just kill this one Ostroop, but we'll go down to the rest of the units. Evilnick pushing into that central ground, and Arvolder's got to hope his units get there in time, and he's got to worry about the Pack 3850. The Tanko Disaniki might be a nice unit to have in there. Evilnick takes an early lead on balanced income, 14-10, but it's all down to this central town, back to a 12-12 with these reinforcements coming in. Ooh, gets a shot off the Pack 38. Track's broken, yeah, the Tanko Disaniki needs to unload and hoof it down there on foot. It's not going to be nice for them because they can't open fire until they're within 100 meters. The Gvardia DP do just get into the town before this flag comes under pressure, and the M42 gun firing, I think on there was a half track in there that's gone down, but Evilnick pressing the attack in the center. But look at Arvolder's troops in this northern forest, and a Sapere moving up the north. I think Arvolder could make some gains in this central area. And look, the Panzergrenadiers coming across in the open. It's a shame that M2A1 and the T30, oh, they are now microing in, and these could lead these Panzergrenadiers into a little bit of trouble. being in the open, just trying to make sure that we're covering all ground. It looks like both players playing in this northern side at the moment. Pack 38 moving forward to contest against the T-34-76, but the Sappery is going to engage and kill that Pack 38. That'll be a very nice kill for Arvolder. One of the Panzergrenadiers do go down, the other pins potentially might just surrender. The Stuck 3G coming in. Actually, he's got to worry about this Gvardier. Should have seen that. And yeah, this Stug actually does stop at the right time, gets the crew kill on the T-34-76. Nice job there, and at least it stunts the attack. A lot of Panzergrenadiers coming in to reinforce, but Evilnick, he's only got that 100 points a minute, so I think well, I think he's just managed to hold up enough resources to put into this northern side. Strange swim wagon MG here. I'd kind of like to... Well, it's just an interesting choice of position. The Tanko de Saniki, originally they had the smoke. They no longer have this on an older patch, so they no longer have the smoke, so can no longer actually do that. But the Stoss troop threw down the Molotov cocktail, and actually the Tanko de Saniki, they now have Molotov cocktails on their own on the new patch, and will actually go down here. I think on the new patch, the Tanko de Saniki would definitely have won that engagement if they'd have made it across the road. A hell of a lot of Panzergrenadiers coming in now, and looks like the battle's going to be in this northern side. IG-18's coming in. Again, I think that's a bad position for this IG-18. I'd like to see Evilnick choose a different location, because there's a massive forest in the way of this IG-18. You know, maybe down here. We've got a Yak-3 coming in for a strafing run on... Okay, on the Panzergrenadiers, so yeah, that is a fair target. Strafing runs heavily nerfed. We've got a 120mm mortar in that northern side. Evilnick has not really repressed this centre town, and actually reinforcing Sappery have come in now. The one-man Tanko de Saniki, a trail of dead bodies. Is that dead? Are they all? Oh, they're kind of like craters, a trail of craters from where they made their way into the town. But actually, one of the Sappery is going down very early to the fire of potentially the Panzergrenadiers, actually, I think, in that building with the MG42s. The Sappery moving forwards, and I feel like they're going to win that one out. Up in this northern side, a lot of Panzergrenadiers here. The strafing runs are hurting Evilnick. Needs to get some micro off on these Panzergrenadiers in the north. The Sappery, I think they're going to take out these Panzergrenadiers. Have they thrown the satchel charge? No, they're too close. They are too close, side by side in the building. The TNT is not going to get off, and these Panzergrenadiers are going to win out this battle. This is a thing where if the TNT unit or the flamer units are too close to another unit, they won't use that weapon. So a better building would have been this one just across the road, and they would have been able to throw that TNT shell in there. I'm looking to cover that in the future in one of my quick tips videos, but just a tip for people that are wondering. Like, I knew that occurred for flamers, but I did not know that also occurs for those TNT units, and I think the reason is so that they don't throw TNT and blow themselves up in the in the meantime. The T-34-76 driver killed by this Stuck 3G just right on the edge of the 2,000 meter range, and the OB-25 is going to engage into that central city. This little hilltop here is a very nice position for this OB-25 to pound this central city. We've got an SDKF-7 moving into the central ground. Should pick up the flag for Evilnick. It's a 13-11 currently for Arvolder, picking up this flag here, but I think Evilnick is going to equal it, and at some point that flag's going to go back into Evilnick's favour. It's difficult to say who's got the advantage right now. Arvolder's had pretty much all of his A phase, so he's had that extra income. We're back to a 12-12, but the SDKF-7 is going to go down, so if Arvolder can continue to hold this position, it's going to be a very nice position to defend. So potentially, although Vanguard income, you'd be hoping for a 14-10 by now. If he can hold this northern defensive position, I think he is definitely in with a very good shout with this game. The Guardia DP now engaging the Panzergrenz, and with a lower strength Panzergrenz squad, they should pick up the kill there, especially if the OB-25 can get involved. A ZIS-3 gun coming in to a similar position, that will be a nice position to contest these Stugs just across this northern kind of top of the ridge line, would you say? Hopefully that makes sense. The Sapri PPSH just trying to get in range for the Panzerfaust, but Stug backing off, rightly so. Although doing it in potentially not reversing, which would have been the better move there than showing the rear armour. The Schwimmer MG actually in a decent position, although being taken down rather easily by the MG fire of the Guardia DP. It's probably actually the PTRD that took that one down. I'd like to have seen the Schwim a bit further back, but potentially probably would have gone down to the PTRD anyway. Oh, an IL-2 comes in, and I think just lost line of, in fact I think one of the Stugs have gone down to potentially the T-34-76, probably the PTRD. IL-2 strike coming in, falling back on the other Stug. A lot of infantry coming down. We've got M2A1s pushing forwards in the face of an IG. And I can see what he was going for the surrender onto the Stug 3, but actually didn't need it. Got the PTRD kill, I think it was. And the ME109 G4 comes in, but just too late. Probably, I think the IL-2 will have got out. Pioneer's coming back into the centre for Evilnick, so... but also Sapari. Both... all the Pioneers just went down, I believe, to the OB-25 strike. So the Sapari will take up position. But that Pak-38 is still there, just facing down the road. I quite like that position. I've never thought about bringing an anti-tank gun onto this road before, due to the positions up here to provide, you know, long range fire, but actually it's quite a nice position and fairly protected from like OB-25 hits. I'd like to see Arvolder kind of put the line of sight onto this Pak-38 and then, you know, engage with the OB-25, you know, find a position to engage onto that Pak-38-50. But in the northern side we have another 2-star T-34-85. These are going to be fantastic for dealing with these Stugs, especially at 2-star, and Arvolder is building himself a pretty defensible position in this northern side. I think Evilnick is kind of just trying to hold Arvolder at bay at the moment. We're into B phase only just, and I'm not sure Evilnick will be able to push back into this position. I think potentially he could look a bit further south, although Arvolder has a number of units. I think over time Evilnick will be able to build up his forces on that balanced income. I mean, look at the sight line from this OB-25. Oh, that's engaging the Stug 3J. For a moment I thought it was engaging the infantry down here. Gets the crew panic and the kill with the heat shell. I'm pretty certain that was the heat shell from the OB-25 there. Nice job. Smoke coming down to potentially... not 100% sure why that smoke came down. I think it's this 81mm mortar maybe that's put that down. Is targeting the OB-25. And I think we're going to see Evilnick potentially bring in some artillery, play the long game. At 13-11, he's got 27 minutes. T-34-85 just pushing forwards though. A lot of infantry in this forest. Only the Panzergrenz with those Panzerfaust, and the Pak-40 not in a great position. I'd like to see Arvolder. Oh, he is bringing in 2 more T-34-85s. I'd like to see an AT gun come into this northern forest and put pressure on this supply line. There are 2 IG-18s there, so potentially we'll need some artillery as well. But that would be a fantastic little position for a couple of pack guns in there. We have a D-Zip KAO 152mm off map, which I think is going to target this central town. Surely that's the only thing that he can reach with that off map, and actually this could be a very nice, yeah, here it comes. Nice looking sized explosions as well. The Pioneer Führer blown out of the building and only one man left there. I want Arvolder to push forward after this, but Evilnick8's going to be bringing in the reserves, I think, potentially just in time. The Gvardia DP, again, this Pak 3850 in a great spot, shoots one of them in the transports, the pin down Panzergrens. Oh, I think the other one is just going to get away, and we need some artillery coming in on that Pak 38. Because that is doing a great job of just holding up Arvolder. The off map still coming down. I'd like to see Arvolder start to move forward as soon as this off map finishes. I think he's going to be unfortunate by the fact that Evilnick8 has already ordered supplies, reinforcements into that position. But Arvolder advancing with Saparis. This will be, well, he's advancing into the jaws of death with 3 Pioneer squads here. Saparis versus Pioneers. Pioneers are going to win out because they're not... Although, actually, Arvolder stops that Sapari unit. I was going to say they're going to win out because the Saparis are engaging one at a time. This is... well, this Sapari's down to 2 strength. But all he needs to do is let off one of its... frag grenades. Oh, he looks like he's trying to push through for the surrender. This is a very interesting engagement. The Pioneer Führer needs to move up. Yeah, I think the lack of command has hurt Arvolder. But yeah, Pioneers versus Saparis, he's certainly going to take a chunk out of those Pioneers. Yeah, they're now fairly half-strength squads. I was kind of thinking that would go more in favour to Arvolder than it actually did there. The Panzergrens did recover in time before Arvolder pushed through forces. Evilnick8's got quite a lot of infantry there now. A nice artillery strike would totally decimate those forces. In fact, the D-Zip KAO, another one of those, at the moment would deal a pretty heavy blow. Evilnick8 pushing forward a Stug 3G, which is picking up a flag for him, and actually looks like he's making a small push in this south. Stosstroop moving forwards, possibly scouting out positions, but I think he's gonna have trouble. This will be an interesting engagement. The Gvardia are 2-star, upvetted by the Gvardia Komrotti, so I think the Gvardia are going to win out in this engagement, especially because the Stosstroop are in the yellow cover, don't get as much bonus as the Gvardia in green heavy cover versus the Stosstroop in yellow light cover. So yeah, the Gvardia are going to win out there pretty easily. IG-18 coming in to provide extra supporting fire. A few units have gone down, I think, in this northern side with the push over the gap. And the T-34-85 has also gone down. I mean, nice little 2-pronged attack from the Stug 3Gs in the north and the Stug 3G Führer in the south. Looks like he's trying to engage onto the Su-152, and I like this Su-152 here. That is going to do a hell of a lot of damage. It's a 152mm cannon with 7 damage. The Stug 3G could well take it out pretty easily, but at the same time, I think while these T-34-85s are going to engage onto the Stug, this could be a nice kill. Oh no! Engage onto the IG-18 over the hill. Surely they can see that Stug. How can they not see that Stug right now? Now I think they're going to engage, are they? Yes. Here we get the engagement. T-34s will not get first shot. So, Stug gets the kill. I think a shot came in from the ME410 there, but the other T-34-85 actually gets a driver knockout, but I think the Su-152 Actually got a HE shell in there, which heavily stressed out the Stug, and then the T-34-85 finished it off. I'd love to see another DZIP off-map come in on this town. One of the planes goes down. Sorry, I was having trouble tracking. I think that was just the fighter from Evilnick that went down. And look at the line of infantry. Both players have got infantries in the line on the edges of the forest, just engaging with each other. But Evilnick is going to win out over time with the Stug 3Gs and the SDKF Z11 flak gun. They're just engaging in anti-personnel duty. I'd like to see this IG-18 push up as well and provide some HE fire onto these positions. The flak 3820 in position, but down goes one of the Stugs to the IL-2M attack, and the flak 3820 along with the SDKF Z11 flak not enough to hold off those IL-2Ms, but a reinforcing infantry goes down again. I think it was the SDKF Z11 flak that took out the reinforcing infantry. Evilnick pushing forwards. It's interesting who's going to win out here. Well, it looks like Arvolder is pushing down south, and actually, yeah, this Panzergren's going to go down. As soon as it's revealed, the tanks will beat it. I wouldn't really have advised this. I'd have liked to have seen the Gvardia push forwards ahead of the T-34s. Potentially this Sapri PPSH come out of the forest. Although it might have been killed off by the Panzergrens. Do now discover the Panzergren in that building. And Evilnick does try and micro out and keep it behind. Although he needs to take the auto cover off. If you micro out behind the building, just take the auto cover off, let it sit there, but I think he was going to lose that. This Pack 40 should be repositioned down into this southern side to quickly try and stave off this southern threat, because Arvolder picks up the southern flag, and at the moment nothing here to stop the T-34s. I'd like to see an infantry unit, potentially this Gvardia DP, push forward, occupy that compound. 12-12, there's a flag here for Arvolder to take, contest. Moving these Gvardia a little bit closer might really help contest that flag. In the northern side though, Evilnick has pushed back into the forest. Arvolder's units have been reduced in number. The Tango Disaniki doing a good job against the Pioneers, but they're right up against the Stug 3G. Tank weaponry on the side of that Tango Disaniki, so they will slowly get destroyed. I think actually they'll probably manage to, the Stug will lose sight of them in the heavy forest, you would think. Two more Stugs pressing in though, and there's only a T-34-85 that's going to stand in their way. An IL-2M coming in, trying to kill that Stug. Potentially this tanker could get a surrender. No. I think the SDKF Z11 did enough damage to kind of make the IL-2 miss with those rockets, but it did get taken out by the T-34-85, and this position is very precarious for Arvolder. He needs a lot of reinforcements in here, but in the south another plane goes down, and I've got a feeling that was probably one of Arvolder's, which this ME-109G4 took out. Stug's coming in now, and it looks like the ME-410 did take out the leader T-34 there. We have got the Gvardia moving forward into the compound. The Stug's coming in to reinforce, and so far I think the Stugs have been doing an excellent job against the T-34s. And we've got Panzergrens being engaged upon by the Gvardia DP. The Panzergrens started firing on the Gvardia DP, but they are now being engaged by the T-34s. But the Stug 3s come into view of at least one of them, and I think this engagement is going to really be key for this game. If Arvolder can hold on to this southern side, he can really build on this southern position. But there's a Pack 40 potentially in a nice spot to get some really tight sightline engagements. The Gavardia DP are pinned down, but they potentially might just sneak into the building. The T-34 holding off the Stug 3G for now, but it is falling back. The T-34-85 I think is going to try and get into a position, but I think that pack is going to engage the Stugs. Gets a shooter knockout. The other Stug moving forwards, a load of kills. So this T-34-85 can definitely do a great job against these Stugs, and I think Arvolder might pick up the kills here. It's very close. More Stugs coming in though, and I think with 4 of them on the way in, sight damage to the T-34, I think that T-34 is going to go down. Guardians do get pinned. Ooh, sight damage from the Pack 40, moving positions. That T-34-85 backing away, may just get out alive, but a lot more Stugs, a lot more reinforcements coming in from Evilnick. I feel like Arvolder is going to lose this southern position. Xenot 37 coming in, which was to protect against those air attacks, but too many Stugs at the moment for Arvolder to deal with, and I think the decision to upvet the T-34-85s, I don't know. I'm not sure whether it's going to pay off, because I can see why he's done it, because at the moment a T-34-85 is costing what, 85 points. That's pretty much an entire tick worth of income for Arvolder. So I can see why he's upvetting them, because it's not like he can spam out these T-34-85s. They're just too expensive for him. Wow, look at this contest. I'd have thought that Pioneer would have got the 4-man kill on the Sapari PPSH. Which one's is going to go down here? Yes, the Sapari PPSH with the 4 PPSH 41s just gets the kill onto the Pioneer, but I think Evilnick has broken the back of Arvolder's defense in this northern side. A lot of infantry coming in now, but these Stug 3s getting into a position to stop those reinforcements. It's going to come down to the T-34-85s versus the Stug 3s. Oh, the IL-2M just coming in as well, falling back one of the Stugs, although an ME410 coming in and potentially gets the crew kill on the T-34-85. The Stugs take down the Xenot 37, and I think because those Stug 3Gs have been made to fall back, the reinforcing infantry will just get here in time. This is interesting. Who's going to survive? This Pack 40 actually has got a much better sight line than it appears. Looks like the IG-18 should have that sight line, but the Pack 40 is actually the one that's firing down this road. IG-18 coming up to the northern area. Pack 40 still engaging with that T-34-85. A lot of Stugs down there. Arvolder's going to lose this position. Guardia DP's coming in to cover off against the movement of the Panzergrens here. I'd like to see the PPSH fall back and engage them, but Arvolder probably doesn't realise that they're only a 6-man squad. I think the Sapari PPSH can take out that squad. In fact, the Panzergrens are going to reveal them. I feel like the Sapari PPSH are going to go down, because they're going to start getting fired on by the Panzergrens here. And whereas I think if Arvolder would have moved across, he would have picked up the kill against Evilnick's Panzergrens. We're still at 12-12, fairly long game, or wow, not 28 minutes in, so a fairly tight game, but certainly income-wise, Evilnick has the advantage with the balanced income, 170 points to 110 of the Vanguard income of Arvolder. I think he's just hanging on to this forest right now. I think if Evilnick pushes through, he's going to pick up this flag, and that's going to push the flags in favour of him, although he has picked up another one. I think it's this one here, and gets the no, I'm not sure where that flag is, where you've got the 12-12. No, I think it was that one, but somehow Arvolder just picked up that flag, but back loses it again, and we need some AT guns in this forest, you know, maybe this position, you know, around this position here, you know, just across here, just to contest against the Stug 3Gs, although actually Evilnick8's got this one in a very nice position. At the moment Arvolder's pushing forwards with the IL-2 M3s, but another flak 3820 coming in, gets another kill. These IL-2s I think are keeping him in this game in the northern side, but Evilnick8 now pushing forwards with infantry. There's, I think that IL-2 kill is going to allow Arvolder to bring these Gvardia DPs in, but he's not taking them all the way forwards, which is probably a good thing, because these Panzergrenadiers would potentially be able to shoot them in the transports. This Z-37 is actually not in a too bad position to cover any infantry advancing over the open, but I think, oh, we've got an SDKFZ 261 Commander coming in there. Look at that beautiful commander unit. Not often see, I like to have a look at the commander units because they're often like very let's see where we can actually get it. Look at this beautiful model. You don't often see these commanders, so I do tend to like to take a look at them when they do come on to the battlefield. But interesting, it's come in here, but there's a Pioneer Führer back here. Wow, there goes a surrender. There goes a surrender. So Arvolder, I think he saw the writing on the wall. I think it was going to be a fairly long grind, but I think Evilnick8 was going to get the victory in the end. And that northern side, Arvolder had taken up a position, and I kind of said if he's able to hold that position, I think he can make a 13-11. But Evilnick8 just pushed him out towards the end, and that really really springboarded him to a position where he, I think, was going to win in the long run. And Arvolder surrenders. So congratulations to Evilnick8. Gets the victory. 30 minutes 53 seconds, 2,400 kills to 2,100 losses. So a very tight game, but I think over time the lead, the difference here would have stretched, and I think Evilnick8 would have come away with a victory in the end. Let's have a look at some of the kills, see whether we can pick out anything significant. This pack 40, an excellent job. I'm going to assume this is the one in the northern side. Yes, it is, because these M2A1s pushed out to try and get the Stug surrender and got taken out. That pack 40 in a great position, 2 T34 kills, nice job as this 3 kill, and 3 M2 double vetted half track, so nice position from that pack 40. Pack 3850 here with 2 T34 85 kills. That's, I think that could be the one in the southern, no, that one in the southern side came in much later, didn't it? So I think potentially that was in the north as well. SDKFZ 11 flak actually picking up 3 Gvardia DP kills. So sometimes these flak half tracks, you know, they're there obviously as anti-air units, but they can be used expertly well against the infantry. We didn't see a hell of a lot of use of these SBW recon vehicles, but quite a few Stugs here picking up kills towards the end. So yeah, I think just a fairly steady, nothing apart from this pack 40, nothing else really shining through. And I think that pack 40 was just in a position where the line of sight just didn't look like it had a shot down the road through the gap in the 2 forests, but it obviously did. In terms of the kills for Arvolder, let's have a quick look at those. Early on, a nice few kills from the M42, the T34 here, taking out the initial forces of Evilnick8. And after that, kind of 1-for-1 trades. The IL-2Ms in the northern side kind of tried to keep Evilnick8 in it with those Stug 3G kills, but I think he was sort of fighting a losing battle towards the end, and obviously that's why he brought in the surrender. So let's have a look at the final result for Steel Division League Group 4. This game closes the coverage of Steel Division League Group 4. Evilnick picks up the overall first place position. Congratulations to Evilnick8. He played 11 games, won 6, lost 1, and tied 4. There were, I think there was 3 people in Group 4 that dropped out. So 3 of those victories will be kind of automatic victories against 3 players that dropped out. Arvolder picks up second place. Congratulations to Arvolder. 7 games played, 5 wins, 2 ties. So Arvolder unbeaten, although did not manage to play all of his games. So you'll notice, obviously, some of the players... varying number of games played, and I feel like potentially that's not necessarily a bad thing, because the players that dropped out of the league completely, everyone got got automatic wins for those players, and I think there was 3 of them. But the players that didn't drop out but didn't necessarily have enough time, they've not played all their games, so they've not automatically got points for that. They've got 0 points, so any games not played, 0 points, so nobody gets a point for it, which I think is fair. And then the games that do get that way, if you do play a game right, the structure is, if you win the game you get 3 points, if you lose the game you get 0 points, and if you tie the game you get 1 point. So if you lose a game you get 0 points, but if you don't play a game you also get 0 points. So there is no kind of punishment for not for attempting to play games. That's where I'm kind of getting. It took me a long while to get there, I apologize, but basically the advantage is to play more games, because you've just got way more chance of getting points. So that's why we do see quite a few players at the top of the table, obviously playing more games, getting themselves more points. And sometimes, not everybody's able to play all the games, and sometimes people start the league, start the tournament, not able to finish it, or some players potentially move away from the game and aren't interested in completing the tournament. But congratulations to Evilnick. He picks up the first place. Arvolder picks up the second place. Evilnick8, who actually moved down from League 3 sort of in the early part of the season, he picks up a nice 3rd position, although joint points with Vincent. So potentially, Vincent also... kind of a joint 3rd, I'd say, between Genzi and Vincent. They're on the same points there. Ludo Jad in 5th place, Lepanto 6th, Gramlink 7th, 209 Stockton 8th, and although 6 plebeians in 9th, I don't think he actually played any games. So Flat Panzen, I'm personally going to give the 9th place to. That concludes the coverage for Group 4. We saw a couple of those players. I didn't cover too many games in Group 4, but you know what? I'm really looking forward to seeing some more from the players in this group as they progress through. This group was really for newer players that that maybe hadn't played a lot of Steel Division prior to this tournament or this league. A lot of the players in like Group 1 and Group 2 have been seasoned Eugene veterans and have played since Wargame, Ruse, and certainly have played Steel Division Normandy. Very steep learning curve this game, so I really hope to see lots and lots more from players in this Group 4, and I encourage these players to continue playing next season and in more one day shorter tournaments for the Steel Division League, and more games played, more experience gained will definitely improve you as a player, and you'll be able to compete with the best in the future. So that is Group 4. We're going to leave it there. Thanks very much for watching. If you've enjoyed, please give me a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, subscribe so you don't miss the closing coverage of other groups. We've got this should be releasing Friday, I believe. So we've got next week should be the conclusions of Group 3 and Group 2. So look forward to those games. Check out the description for links to my Discord, Patreon and Twitch pages if you want to offer if you want to support me in other ways, and also just jump on the Discord if you want to chat about the games. We got a specific channel to chat about the casts after they come out, so jump in there if you want to discuss anything with me or the rest of the community that's in there. But that is it for now. Thanks very much for watching. I am Angry Bird. I will see you next time.